What's going on? So wholesaling is all about finding distressed property owners that have, houses that we can buy and actually make a deal on. There are different ways that you can go about your marketing. You could do inbound marketing where the seller is calling you. So that's like direct mail, PPC, stuff like that, right? Where they're gonna call you first. And then you can also do outbound marketing, which is mostly what I've done. So most of my deals come from cold calling, and that's mostly what I teach here. So if you're not interested, I can't really help you with direct mail or PPC or any of that kind of stuff. But you don't wanna just start cold calling everybody. You don't wanna shotgun call everybody, because you're gonna call houses that you don't want to be dealing with. You don't wanna call a seller that has a house built in 2015 because it's gonna be in too good a shape. They won't need to sell it for a discount. They can just put it on the MLS. You might still be able to do deals like that with creative financing, but that is not for this video. So assuming you're going with the model of giving cash offers to people, you wanna look for two things. You have to have a seller that's motivated to sell the house, and they have to have a house that can actually even be a deal. So how can you find these sellers? Basically, I'm gonna be giving you my 2 top lists in this video, and I'm gonna be going over where to pull them and actually walk you through pulling them. So let's get into it. Hey, my name's Kyle. If this is the first time you've been to my channel, I mostly teach people how to wholesale real estate step by step through these videos. They're pretty instructional, like this one's gonna be, and consider subscribing to the channel if you're into that. And if you want my contracts and scripts and stuff like that, you can get all that for free. I basically created a Facebook group called Wholesaling Houses Made Simple, where I'm gonna dump like all the stuff that I use in there. So just go check that out. All you gotta do is join, really not that hard to do. And you might be wondering, why would I do that for free and not offer a course? It's because I'm hoping that with the resources I give you guys, maybe you use my links. You don't have to, but it is nice of you. It's no more extra cost to you, and it helps me out, helps me pay rent, and helps me keep making these videos. We're gonna be covering 2 lists in this video, and they're both out of Propstream. You don't have to get them out of Propstream, but that's what I use because I comp properties, research properties, pull lists. I do everything basically out of Propstream. I like stuff to be as one-stop shop as possible. So like my Podio setup, I have my Podio setup, so I just go there, and I have Propstream. Those are the 2 main resources that I use. And you can get that Podio setup if you want as well. I'll put a card across the top. But if you want a free trial of Propstream, you can click the link in the description. But let's get into this thing. These are my 2 top lists. It's the absentee owner list and the vacant list. So let's go to Propstream, and we're gonna pull those, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to pull those. All right, so here we are on Propstream. I'm gonna pick one of these little markets that I do, Columbia, Tennessee. And we got 28,500 properties, so we need to filter that down. So for the absentee list, I wanna walk this through. I'm gonna try not to miss anything and do this just one time. So owner occupied, no, obviously. Occupancy status, we don't care. Absentee owned. I look for residential 1 to 4 units, basically. And I put the condo townhouse in here because I like townhouses, not the condos so much, but because you can't separate it, that's what I do there. Year built. Anything newer than 1995 is probably gonna be in too good a shape, so I don't wanna include those. Let's see, home features, all the other stuff remains blank. We want MLS status, on market, no. If it's listed, no good. They're gonna want too much money for it, most likely. You could try those. You could try calling them and shooting all those people lowball offers, but I just try to avoid them. Let's see, no. Ownership info, individuals, last sale date, I go back 8 years. So we're gonna go 2013, June 1st. Number of properties, don't care. Pre-probate, any. Include unknown sales date. The reason why I include that is because so what do we got? 1,640 if we exclude the unknown sales date, and 1887. So it's about 250 more properties. I want more data than less data. And if it's an unknown sales date, maybe it falls in our criteria of what we're looking for. And I don't want to miss any opportunities. So I'll call some extra people if I need to. Individual, let's see, Yep. Valuation. Estimated value, max 250. I just want to eliminate like the $1 million homes, stuff like that. Estimated equity, you want them to have a minimum of 40% equity in the house. So if we're buying properties at 60%, that means that they have 40% equity in the house, right? Because that's over what they owe on it. So we want estimated equity, minimum 40%, and everything above that we are good with. Total assessed value, again, I put 250 in my market here just to exclude those super expensive ones. And I also want to include unknown equity. Again, I would rather, so we go from 1490 to 1522, that's an extra 30 records. That is completely fine for me. And mortgage info, I do not touch. So here we have 1,522 properties. What you're gonna do is just click here, and then you're gonna go add to list, and then just basically export it to your properties, and then get it skip traced. I don't use Propstream skip tracing. I use Skip Matrix for 14 cents if you use my code. I love them. Their turnaround time is about a day, but they give you a ton of properties. You even get their relatives, up to 5 relatives and 3 phone numbers for each relative. So if it's a deceased property owner, that's basically an inheritance list inside of your data. So that's gonna be it. The absentee list, I actually just pull this once a year at the beginning of the year. I skip trace it one time, and then next year I'll pull it and do the same thing. And because I already skip traced a lot of them, next year when I pull it, maybe 300 properties get added to this, and I'll only have to skip trace 300 properties more. And I just call through this list about once every quarter to 6 months. I just keep calling it. It's absentee owned, so it could be vacant, and it could be that they have an eviction coming up, they have tenants. A lot of problems can happen with tenants in property. So you never know when things might change. You can generate a lot of leads this way. Like I said, this is one of my best lists. So the next list is gonna be the vacant list. And all you do is just keep everything the same. Just go to filters and change. You can either click on vacant here. So you see it's 103 that we have with this criteria. And if I put vacant here, it's still gonna say 103. And then if well, I'm just gonna leave it at vacant for now. I guess if I went like that, it would still be 103 because I chose vacant here. So you can either choose it here or there, whatever. But residential, individual, on market, all this same stuff applies. Like if you have a vacant house and there's no equity in the deal, it still is not gonna be a deal. Even though it's vacant, the seller can't sell it. They're just in a bind. So I don't wanna mess with properties that are vacant, that there's no equity in, so this filter still applies. So in this little market, there's only like 50,000 population in this market. It's a little one. There's 103 vacant houses. I pull this list every month, and I just scrape it for the new ones because a house may be vacant for 3 months, so I'll see it 3 months. So I have an Excel sheet where I just upload the new stuff and I remove the duplicates, so I only have the new vacants for that month. I add those to my niche list, and that's that. So those are the 2 best lists that I have, both in Propstream, vacants and absentees. With those 2 lists, I think you can basically run a wholesaling business, to be completely honest with you. Say you were in a bunch of different little markets and you just were in one state, but in like every city in that state. With just these 2 lists, I think you could get a substantial amount of deals and probably make a good living just with these 2 lists. It doesn't take a lot. So that's gonna do it. Don't forget to join that Facebook group. If you want some help, you can book a call with me, a 1-hour call. There's a link down there in the description for that too. But I appreciate you clicking on this video and hanging out. Hopefully you found it helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.